The Women's World Cup knockout stages is here. A great tournament this has been. I didn't make original predictions at the start of the tournament. The group stages were fascinating. Loads of big teams getting knocked out. Germany on the final day as the world #2s losing out to Morocco and going out of the World Cup. Probably the biggest shock of them all. Brazil losing out. I was very sad about that. I liked Debinha. I liked the entire Brazil squad. They played Box City football. They went out. Canada. Great team with loads of big names. Ashley Lawrence, Kadisha Buchanan, Christine Sinclair, Jessie Fleming. They went out. And then, of course, the Italians, they went out to South Africa. So we have loads of underdogs, we have loads of favourites. This is going to make for a fascinating World Cup knockouts down under. I've been following this tournament all the way through, absolutely loving it. So let's just get to predicting it. Starting off with the first game, Switzerland versus Spain. Now, the Swiss went 3 games without conceding a goal to the Philippines, Norway and New Zealand. They scored 2 against the Philippines to win 2-0, then 2 0-0 results followed, and they went through top of the group. But I don't know whether they're that good. They're ranked as number 20 in the world compared to Spain, ranked as number 6. Spain with 3-0 wins over Costa Rica and 5-0 over Zambia before getting destroyed 4-0 by the Japanese despite dominating that game. We don't know how they're going to go with, because Switzerland haven't conceded a goal yet, so, you know, how's that going to go? The midfield of Putellas and Abelleira in general has been incredible in this tournament. The most chances created at the World Cup. She's been insanely good. Putellas is obviously a Ballon d'Or winner, but she hasn't really been at her best. She's been injured for most of the season anyway, so like we don't know much if she can turn up in this knockout phase. Jenny Hermoso up front. Redondo scored 2 goals. Bon Mati is still there. This is a very good Spanish side, and I think that Japan result was a bit unfair considering the way they played. And I mean, I think that Spain will win this game. I'm going to go for Spain 3, Switzerland 0. Moving on to a game which, based on FIFA rankings, should be very close. Japan as number 11, Norway as number 12. Now, the Japanese had an insanely good group stage campaign, and mainly that last game against the Spanish, 4-0. But the way, it's just that attack of the Japanese, the free-flowing football, the attacking mindedness, the flair, the pace that they attack with, especially on the counter, and that front three of Naomoto, Miyazawa, and then either Ueki or Tanaka through the middle. Endo as a left wing back has been playing really, really well at this tournament, and this has been a great tournament so far for Japan. Norway, on the other hand, had a disastrous start with a 1-0 loss to New Zealand and then a 0-0 draw to the Swiss before finally redeeming themselves in a 6-0 thrashing of the Philippines, where Sophie Haug scored a hat-trick, and that is where we saw the quality of this Norwegian team, because it is a very, very good team. If you're looking at the squad and looking at the clubs that these play for, Caroline Graham Hansen plays for Barcelona. Then that midfielder, Villa Borisa for Manchester United, Frida Manum for Arsenal, and then Guro Reiten for Chelsea. At the back, Maren Mjelde, and then they had Sophie Haug. And on the bench, who was injured but should be back, is one of the best players in the world. She's won a Ballon d'Or before as well. Ada Hegerberg, the Lyon striker. Hopefully she'll be back for Norway against Japan, which could be a huge, huge difference. But will the Japanese just be too strong in terms of the pace that they go forward with? Because the Norwegians aren't that quick, they're more of a physical team. Will the Japanese be able to deal with it? It's going to be a very fascinating game, but I think this could be a shock. I'm going to go for Japan 1, Norway 1, and Norway will win it on penalties. Moving over to Netherlands versus South Africa. Netherlands ranked number 9 in the world. South Africa ranked number 54, and they shockingly knocked out Italy to progress to the round of 16s. The Dutch got a draw against the USA, and then on last match day, absolutely demolished Vietnam 7-0. They've got a great team. Esme Brooks, a 20-year-old, is starting to shine. There's obviously Lika Martins, Jackie Groenen, there's Daniela van der Donk. Jill Roord has had a brilliant tournament, and that back three, Dominic Janssen, Van der Gracht and Sherida Spitzer, have been absolutely brilliant. And the Dutch are going to be too good for South Africa, who have been very good going forward, have had certain flary players, but I don't think it will be enough for them, and I think that this will be fairly easy. I think Netherlands will win 4-1, and it won't be that close. But the South Africans will put up a fight. Moving on to the most anticipated game in the round of 16s, in my opinion, and probably everyone else's, because it's the world number 3s, Sweden, who got the bronze medal at the 2019 World Cup, and the number 1s, world champions of the United States of America. But the USA have not had a great tournament. A 3-0 win over Vietnam, a 1-1 draw against the Dutch, and then a 0-0 draw against Portugal, where they were very lucky to go through. I mean, Alex Morgan hasn't had a great tournament. Mainly the best players have been Lindsay Horan and Sophia Smith, both of which have scored 2 goals. But there's a feeling of some disconnect there, and Rose Lavelle will be banned for this game, who has been a key player. She scored in the World Cup final in 2019. She won't be there, and the Swedes, on the other hand, are on fire. The centre-back partnership of Magdalena Eriksson and Amanda Illerstedt. There's Fridolina Rolfo, who has been brilliant. Stina Blackstenius up front is a great striker. Kosovari Asllani, who's the AC Milan midfielder, hasn't been at her best at this tournament, but we know how good of a player she is, and it's just one moment she can turn up and absolutely kill off the United States. They've got great players in that midfield, Rubinson, Angeldal, but the USA, the pedigree, they've won this four times before. They've won it in the last 2 times in 2015 and 2019, but I think that the Swedes will finally beat the US, and I think it will be 2-0, and I think maybe a set-piece goal, and I think Fridolina Rolfo could cause trouble. Moving on to England versus Nigeria. England ranked as number 4 in the world, the European champions. Nigeria ranked as number 40, going through second in the group after some very nice results, but on final match day they failed to score against Ireland, which knocked them into second. England. Lauren James has had a brilliant tournament. She's been one of the players of the tournament. Going up front, they've got Alessia Russo, Lauren Hemp. At the back, they've been so solid. Only conceded 1 goal, which wasn't for open play. It was a penalty against China. They've got Millie Bright at the back with Alex Greenwood, Carter. They've got a very good team. Kira Walsh, injured. I don't think she'll be back. I don't know how long the injury of that one is. Nigeria, they've got Oshuela up front, who's sort of their best player, playing for Barcelona. She came on and scored against the Aussies, but I don't think Nigeria are good enough. I just don't think so, and I think England will make this quite simple. I think Nigeria will put up a fight, but England 3, Nigeria 1. The host nation. Sam Kerr is back. After being absent throughout the entire group stage to injury, arguably the best player in the world should be back to face Denmark in the round of 16s of the World Cup in 2023. Denmark have had a great tournament in terms of defensively. They only conceded 1 goal, which was to England. Going forward, they did only score 3, so this could be quite a low-scoring game from their point of view. But Australia, if Sam Kerr is back, then oh boy could it mean trouble. Australia in that final match day showed what they can do even without Sam Kerr against Canada. Hayley Raso, Emily Van Egmond, Caitlin Ford. It was beautiful free-flowing football up front. Steph Catley, the captain, as the left back as well. They're a good team. They're a very good team, and they have the power of the fans. But the Danes, they're ranked number 13 in the world. Australia are ranked number 10. It's going to be a close game, and I think that this will be go the distance. I think this will go the distance. I think it will be 0-0, and Australia will nick it in extra time. I'm going to go for 1-0 Australia in extra time, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Kerr scored the winner. Moving on to Colombia. Come on, my team for this tournament. We know how much we love Colombia on this channel. Czech Republic ain't in it. We're supporting Colombia, and oh my god. I mean, it's been insane. Linda Caicedo is the next GOAT of women's football. She is the Colombian Ronaldinho, the Colombian Neymar, the Colombian Messi, whatever you want to call her. She's absolutely incredible. That goal against Germany, the flick and then the goal, oh my god. She is absolutely unbelievable. Okay, get ready for this. I mean, 18-year-old playing for the Real Madrid women's team. She is a real fighter. And now she has to lead Colombia, who are 25th in the world in terms of rankings, compared to Jamaica's 43rd, who shockingly beat Brazil. I mean, this will be a very interesting game. Two underdogs, but Colombia, bro. Oh my God, I love this country. I love this team. I don't know why, but Linda Caicedo is going to boss this game. I am telling you. Colombia 1, Jamaica 0, Linda Caicedo to score the winner. Maybe a long shot, maybe a... Oh my God. Just the pure samba football is beautiful, and Colombia will be beating Jamaica. Come on, keep the dream going for Colombia. Czech Republic ain't in this. We're going to be supporting Colombia, hopefully, to do something. Come on. France versus Morocco is the final game. France are ranked number 5 in the world compared to Morocco's 72. They shockingly went through in second place ahead of Germany. Now, I don't know, it was a huge surprise when they beat South Korea, but then when they managed to get through in second, beating Colombia on final match day. But I'm very sorry, the way we saw them play in that first match day when they come up against a proper attacking team like France, it could be curtains. The attack, usually Lesommer, Diane, Gayoro, at the back Wendy Renard. This is a good French team, and they'll be too strong for Morocco. I'm sorry, this could be very... I mean, I could see Morocco pulling a comeback or pulling like a fight for it, but I don't think it'll get them anywhere. France 4, Morocco 0, which would set us up for some crazy quarterfinal clashes, and maybe I'll be predicting them in a next video as well. Oh my God, this tournament's great. And right now I'm just begging for Linda Caicedo to pull Colombia through. And the rest of the games are going to be so fun to watch. I'm going to be watching as many as I can. This World Cup is sick.